buyers make a very quick first impression based on what they see. Normally what I'm here talking about is usually like a market update and things like that, or what's going on in the news. But really what I really want to touch on today is a great conversation that I had with our team yesterday during the meeting. And that is, I guess this message is going out to the people who are planning on selling their home in the late winter, springtime, that type of thing. So let's just talk about the preparation of the home, getting it ready for sale. Getting it ready and preparing it correctly is equally as important as the marketing and the pricing of the property and so on. So let's actually just touch on that for a second. When it comes to I'm not going to get into big work that you have to do, major renovations or big projects. I'm just going to help you do the best you can with what you got, so to speak, at a very minimal cost and effort. But these are the things that realize some big returns. Buyers make judgments based on how the little things are done, not just the big things. So let's say, for example, you've got a home, you've got a double car garage, and you've obviously got a double driveway, if not larger. Then what I would say is this: I know we're getting a mountain of snow. I know it's like yay high. You can't put it anywhere. It's starting to like get to the point where do you even put all this stuff? But I'm going to ask you to do this. If you've got, for example, a double car driveway, try not to pile the snow onto the driveway. Try to push it right to the edge or even onto your grass, because what happens is too many people during the winter time, they start putting all of their snow to one side, and it makes a double car driveway look like a 1.5 or even a single, depending, the efforts that have went into the actual pushing of the snow. So I'm going to say push the snow right to the edge, right to the point where it's even like piling up in the front yard. That's perfectly acceptable. We want to show people you got a full double car driveway. Make sure the garage is on point. It's not got big dings or it's not beat up, and make sure it's got a fresh coat of paint if need be. I know the weather's not optimal for that, but if you can get away with it in one of the milder days that are coming up, then please do so. Next, you want to make sure the front kind of entrance of the house looks good. You haven't got cigarette butts, you haven't got old coffee cups, you haven't got garbage that's flown into your front kind of porch area. Make sure it's all nice and clean and organized. Next, the door. Make sure the door is freshly coated with paint, or a fresh coat of paint. It's not rusty. The door handle's not kind of wobbly. Just little things like that. Buyers make a very quick first impression based on what they see. And unfortunately, if it's bad on the outside, they take that impression on the inside, when the inside can be beautiful. Next, on the inside, the big ones are declutter, depersonalize. You want to start to neutralize your house. Look, you're moving anyway. Start to put the stuff away. Those tote baskets are going to be your friend. You can store things into the basement, into the garage, perfectly acceptable when it comes time to sell your home. If you've got a mountain of stuff and you don't think you can get rid of it before you actually go on the market, then what I would say is definitely call in, like one of those pods that get dropped off, fill it all up, take it away, pay the monthly on it, and now you've actually got a bit more of a blank canvas. But a fresh coat of paint goes a long way. Declutter, depersonalize, changing some of the hardware on your kitchen cabinets, maybe even a backsplash if you want to get into a project, switching out the flooring, or at the very least steam cleaning your carpeting. But I think what you'll find is after declutter, depersonalize, fresh coat of paint, steam cleaning the carpets, some minor wear and tear around the house. You know how like you get little dings in the wall and little paint chips and stuff like that? Just touching those up if you can, making sure the baseboards aren't all scuffed up. If you've got animals, make sure anything that the animals have scratched up, whether it be the trim around the door or the baseboards, get that switched out. These are things that buyers will make their impression on. And I'm telling you right now, if your home looks like it was cared for, maintained well, that is more valuable to a buyer than superficial upgrades that buyers buyers have a very high BS radar these days. They know when something was done just for the purpose of sale, and they don't get that warm and fuzzy and cozy feeling about the inside. Whereas other buyers, they can tell when they walk into a house if something was lovingly maintained, it was cared for, sure, it was lived in. They understand they're buying a resale home, but you want to make sure it shows the absolute best that it can. Anyways, I can go on and on and on, but these are just some very small projects that you as a homeowner can undertake. prior to going on the market, and therefore just getting a head start. The last thing you want to do is have an agent come in the beginning of March and say, let's do all of these things, and then it takes you a month to do that, and before you know it, you're at the end of March, beginning of April, and now you've got a whole plethora of competition that you're up against. You want to make sure that if you say March, you're ready for March, and you can actually get started in a lot of this stuff early. Anyways, see you guys.